I am Walid Baksh, a long-standing member of the San Fernando Arts Council, retired school teacher. The San Fernando Arts Council is this year celebrating its 50th year of serving the artistic community in South Trinidad. The theme of the celebration is Enriching Lives, Building a Nation. Today we have a stalwart in the arts himself, also having had a long and illustrious political career serving as councillor and deputy mayor of the San Fernando City Corporation. Mr. Torrance Igbal Mohammed, a recipient of a Medal of Merit National Award. Mr. Mohammed, you were among that devoted group of practitioners of the arts who initiated the move led by Mr. James Lewa to establish a body to represent the artistic groups in South Trinidad. Could you tell us a little about those formative years?
Yeah, sure. To answer your question, we have to go back a little bit because at that point in time, we used to rehearse at the Naprama Bowl dressing rooms, and there were 2 dressing rooms. And there were a lot of restrictions and you had to go through a lot of bureaucracy. And we had over 45 groups around the time in the early 50s, which I would like to name, give you a few names. James, having been a National Scholarship recipient, which he took up in Mona University in Jamaica, where he met his wife, Mavis Liwa, and he was also a contemporary of his, Derek Walker. So he was very much involved in the arts, and he was very inspired and things. And so when he came back, James joined the San Fernando Drama Guild and was the director for more than 20-something years. And subsequently, as you know, he formed his own theatre workshop called the San Fernando Theatre Workshop. So he made mention, that San Fernando being the industrial capital, the cultural capital, you have festivals all over the world. Edinburgh Festival in Scotland, St. Catherine Festival, a number of festivals in Africa all about. Why we don't have an annual festival of that, or have our own place and things like that. The problem at the time was while it was always good to have performing centers like the Bowl, now you have Napa and Sapa and all of that. But the authorities never thought of providing space for rehearsals, for dance workshop, for a music room, for visual arts and things like that. So the idea came up that we should aim at having our own cultural center where people come and rehearse at their leisure without any restrictions. Because as I said before, Naprama only had 2 rehearsal rooms, 12 by 12. And then the floor was a terrazzo, a concrete floor, which was not suitable for dance. And then when we used to use African drumming, it says that it's still Naprama College. And a number of things at that time which, used to really make us very uncomfortable. And all these things, we sat down and we said we should try, because while individually we could be strong, collectively we could be greater. And we should try and form an arts council. And having been the recipient of another scholarship, the British Council, when he came back, he brought a format from the British Council, and it's based on that we formed the San Fernando Arts Council, and was guided by their constitution.
Who were the major players in those years?
Sorry, who were they? Were
major players in the formation of the
Well, you had the San Fernando Drama Guild, Arawak's dance group, but the Arts Council was formed in 1969. You had Latefer Dance Company, you had Eugene Joseph School of Dance at the time, Esmond Walters School of Music, San Fernando Choral, San Fernando Ladies Choir, which became San Fernando Southern Years, and so on. And then at that time you had, in the University one, Gay Hoytonians, which is now Skiffle Bunch. Those were some of the early members. Then we had the Writers Association. Then you had the Southern Arts Society, which is to hold meetings on the wharf by the old railway station there.
Yeah, but who were some of the persons involved in the actual formation of the society, the council?
Well, James Lear, myself, Joyce Curtin, and then Eric Butler. Eugene gave his support at the time. San Fernando Choral, we had one or two people there from Sylvan Bowles and Stokes Hill, Dennis Holes, and a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What were some of the obstacles you all encountered?
Well, protests were made. The obstacles we encountered at the time was to have a place of our own where we have access to rehearse at our leisure. Because when you go in a bowl there, so many groups wanted to rehearse at the same time, and it was not practical. We wanted to have an art exhibition. They say we asked them, because James and myself, we were members of the bowl board, and we made recommendation tirelessly for them to build a dance studio, a music room, and a visual art for exhibition. But they said they had at the time a multi-purpose room with a multi-purpose. People use it for dance and other functions, so it was not practical. That frustrated a lot of the artists who eventually migrated to Port of Spain. You had Alexander King and the Harris, Carla Harris, and Ken Critchlow, and all of them were members of the Southern Art Society.
When was the council formally established?
In September 1969. We had a constitution, and the first president was the first chairman was James Lear. I was vice chairman, and I became the second chairman in 1973.
Mr. Lear's dream was a building to house the arts. What was the struggle like to get this building going?
Well, fundraising. We approached Harold Mahabir, who was very helpful in that respect. He was a minister of labor, and he was very close to Dr. Eric at the time. And there were 3 or 4 buildings, government headquarters in Circular Road here, which used to house government employees like magistrate and who lived away from San Fernando and who had to stay in San Fernando, so they sustained these quarters. Right now, you have 2 others which house somebody from the fire service and from the Ministry of Sport and Culture. Two employees there. Because we had to also ask them for those buildings for music room and for visual art exhibition. But we managed to get the one before, which was immediately situated after OWT building. There was an old dilapidated building. We started, it was the flooring was rotted and all that kind. But we used to go there and wherever there's a space and have rehearsals and things. And then we decided to approach Earl Mahabir, who was the representative for San Fernando and was a very powerful minister. And he was instrumental in getting us the land there at a peppercorn I call it
peppercorn price.
yeah, that sort of thing. And eventually, we formed a building fund committee, of which the Honorable Aaron Mahabir was the chairman. So yours truly was a member of that committee, from the Arts Council, James Lever and Trevor Braffett. And Terry Braffett, which was a royal legislating, was the secretary. Elva Kawiwana, Radhika Seth, Dr. Ricardo Mohammed, and Trevor Braffett, I mentioned his name. We were all members of our committee, and we managed to raise 100,000. And that set the pace. Then we had several designs for the Creative Arts Center, which was very ambitious. And then we had to tailor it down to what it is now.
So what
and that is at the time when Willie Chen came in, and Willie Chen, with some of his workers, started to do construction work with the help of a building contractor called Mikey Joseph, who is now the president. The president of the
Contractors Association.
Yeah. He's from Palmyra Reform Summit.
Yeah.
He was very helpful.
Yeah, what are some of the main objectives of the council?
Well, the main objective of the council was primarily that we should have a festival every year. So that's one. Having formed the council in 1979, the first festival was in 1970. We started
1969. It was
we formed in 1969, and the first festival was in 1970. And we have never, so far, we have kept the festival alive until today for 50 years.
Yeah, just 2 years were missed due to teachers' action.
Beg pardon?
2 years were missed due to teachers' action.
Yeah, that is, you mean when the
Junior?
Yeah, the junior festival.
Well, okay. To tell you about the junior festival and what prompted that, we had from a historical perspective, there was an association called the Trinidad and Tobago Art Festival Association. As a teacher, you probably might remember it. They used to have, I think, biennial, like the Music Festival Association. They used to have an arts festival going on every 2 years, one for adults and one for schools. But somehow, in the late 50s, the association subsided. And having started the Sunfest, Sunfest is the abbreviation for the San Fernando Festival of the Arts and Culture. That's the full name of the Sunfest. San Fernando Festival of the Arts and Culture, which abbreviated is now called Sunfest. So we started with the seniors, juniors and seniors who started to work together, and we used to have every last 2 weeks in October. We had pattern knitting and schedule knitting to be in the second week in October.
November.
No, the second week in when we started the festival in October. Because what happened? Why we had decided that Best Village would have finished in September, and the city council, at that time it was the borough council, and the municipal day was in October. So we thought this would also help to highlight their celebration, because we offer them the Sunfest as part of the if they're celebrating it. We have went to a number of mayors offering to be part of their thing, and some mayors give us some assistance, but they never really put it in their program there. So Best Village would have finished in September. Then we have our Sunfest. Following that, after Sunfest, you have the Parang Festival. So there was a reason why we had it in the last 2 weeks in a row. And groups used to come and perform for that 2 weeks free of charge. We had music night, dance night, you name it. Classical night, folk night. We experimented with a lot of things, and it was very successful. People used to come and they offer the services, they're free of charge. And until the destruction of the auditorium by fire in February 1977, things started to drop a bit. We had problem carrying on the senior festival.
Do you think some of the objectives of the council have been achieved?
Beg pardon?
Do you think some of the objectives of the council have been achieved?
Well, to some extent, yes. I mean, as I said before, we have kept the festival alive. One of the objectives was to produce an annual magazine which is called
Gayap.
The Gayap. Well, you know what Gayap means, right? We call it Gayap.
Those who don't.
Huh?
Explain what Gayap means for those who
Gayap is you have a project and they come together of the people in the environment. They come together, they work together. When they want to put up a building or they want to have a feast or something, or they're celebrating, they'll have a Gayap.
similar to Lenhan.
The counterpart of that in Tobago is Lenhan.
Okay.
Like in Jamaica, they call it a maroon. Right? So, yeah. And so they thought of giving the magazine Gayap because of this.
Yeah.
And the editor for the last 10 magazine, which was the last one we had, was in 1994, I think. James Lee was the editor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, and as we said, also to provide the opportunity to give assistance to the art groups, to provide the opportunity for them to come to rehearse, to explain, to have workshops, seminars, lectures, and things like that.
As we
Yeah.
are
And for the promotion and development of the arts, on a continuous basis.
But as we are having been your contemporary, what is the status of James Lewa as we speak?
At this point in time? At this time?
Yeah.
Well, he's in his late 80s, and he was a former vice principal of Nabrahma College.
Yes.
And he's ailing now, he's not too well. Following, he's now living in Tortuga.
Is he in a home or?
No.
His family
He's
is
mobile and thing, but he's not too well. He's not very, as far as I know.
His wife is with him?
No, the wife died last year.
Early last year.
Yeah, last year.
What about his daughter who also used to
The
act?
daughter, Sharon, lives with him.
Okay.
Right, she was in an accident. She
Yes.
was going to UE. She was going to study law or something, and she met with an accident, and she's incapacitated.
I heard she was vegetating.
Yeah. No, she's all right.
Okay.
She's very active, and but she has a little limp, and yeah. But he always liked farming and gardening and things, and he had chose to live in the countryside too.
Yeah.
But,
The senior aspect seems to have dwindled. That's of Sunfest. But the junior festival has grown by leaps and bounds. What do you attribute to this?
Well, as I said before, following the destruction of the auditorium in 1977, the auditorium in Naprama Bowl, we had no place to produce the senior festival, right? And so while we used to keep it at because we even used to have some aspect of presentation and thing in the multi-purpose room, even when the bowl auditorium was not available, right? But we could not produce a senior festival the way we used to do it before. And then we lay emphasis on the junior festival, Well, when James again came to me, he said, look, the Trinidad and Tobago Arts Festival Association no longer have their festival. We should do something to bring it back up. So we started with the Victoria schools, the schools in the Victoria Educational Institute. It started with the Victoria School. The first junior festival director was Joyce Curtin. And then the second was Eric Butler. He was teaching at Faizabad Composite School. And when Eric came, he was very enthusiastic, and the suggestion came that we should expand our wings to include the other school. So then we included St. Patrick, and then Caroni, and subsequently the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's now a national thing, and as we went along late, he was he made a very significant contribution. He was very he had a strong junior festival career, and that took over simultaneously the senior festival. We still have it, but not as extensive and vibrant as when we started the board at a smaller scale. So in my capacity as chairman, I used to try to keep the senior festival alive, but a lot of emphasis was on the junior festival. And the history of it now has risen to national proportion.
Can you identify some of the persons who have grown out of Sandfest and achieved national and international status?
Well, before I do that, let me also mention, following Eric, the other junior festival directors were yourself, Walid Baksh, Winston Bramble, who was a retired principal from the San Fernando Methodist Church. He was also a very famous organist. He's a musician who played for most of the churches, and he came in here and he made his contribution. And then we had Miss Avian Crooks, who was a teacher, a member of the San Fernando Theatre Workshop, and who was a member of the Theatre Workshop, and also she's a teacher at the San Fernando Girls Government School. The current junior festival director is Mr. Sherrod Mason, following Miss Winston Bramble. Right? And because of the intervention, and at one time we had some support from when I was a member of council, we had Mayor Ferreira and Marlene Kudre, and they also assisted in improving the building at the time too.
Yeah, but who were some of the people who have grown out of the festival?
Well, yes, it attracted a number of youths all over the thing. We had Marshall Montano, Michael Zephyrin, Francis Brooks, who was a vocalist here. She's now internationally famous. She's in Europe. Shoma Andrews, Michael Zephyrin, Ali Bukas, and
Kes different dollar.
Oh yes, and they different dollars from San Fernando, and we could go on.
And this Vonnet, big for
even Nyla Blackhead was Blackman. She took part in. Well, coming out of I think we should pause a bit and make mention that coming out of the Junior Festival, Hollis and I was chairman and Hollis was secretary at the time, and we came up with the idea, look, they're having all these queen shows, these pageant, and the emphasis is to be in beauty. Why we don't have a passion for young ladies from the senior secondary school? But the emphasis must be on talent. So that is why it is called San Fernando,
Miss Sandfest.
It was firstly Miss Sandfest Teen Talent Competition. But then we go and we say, hey, what's happening? The only organizing it for girls. What about the boys? And that's how the boys came in. Yeah. So the boys came in at a subsequent date. But the rest is history now. And a lot of them who have developed, even this boy, what's his name, Gomez, what's his name? He's a big, he's a...
Music teacher, no?
No, he's a radio announcer.
Lopez.
Lopez, yes.
Joseph Lopez.
Yeah, yes. Joseph Lopez.
From
Well, he was very much involved with the
from Faizabad.
Faizabad, I think, as an actor. And he was he also a singer and a dancer. He was very versatile. So a lot of,
So how else is the council contributing towards the development of talents in the arts?
Well, out of that now, you had people who assisted in the promotion of the Prime Minister Best Village Trophy. Yours truly, at one time I was chief judge, and a number of my members assisted in teaching became Best Village coordinators, and also teaching because you had a number, as you know, the original Best Village in the 62, 63, 64 there, when I had this meeting with the Meet the People toner. And they wanted to promote it. A lot of my members and a lot of members from my group and Lizafa, senior people used to go and assist Best Village people. While they had raw folk, they were not very theatrical. Mm-hmm. So they were given an opportunity. So the rest is easy. As a matter of fact, Malik, one of my senior dancers, went across with Malik and took a lot of the works that we did here, the research, and passed it over. And look, they have emerged one of the leading Best Village cultural groups in the country today, and they have been very successful, very consistent, and they perform both locally and internationally.
Call his name.
Yeah.
Call his name. He worked with the ministry too.
Yeah, and thing. Even Laventil. No, it was Laventil. My drummer and one of my dancers and an assistant in folk. And one very significant thing. James Lewa and myself were members of the National Cultural Council, NCC. You have a NCC now, but that is National Carnival Committee. In 1971 there, Dr. Williams had initiated and instituted form a number of advisory council, and one of them was the NCC, right, which was an advisory council for the arts and culture. And then you had the community development, and then you had the sporting council, and all the other areas he had appointed advisory council. But the only one that stood and last was the NCC, you know. The others had subsided. And the NCC lasted for 12 years, in 1971 and 1983. James Lewa and myself were members of the NCC, and we used to attend quarterly meetings every other Wednesday. At that time we had old cars falling on the road, you know. Mm-hmm. This appears $30 a month, a little subsistence. But we made a lot of contribution for, a lot of recommendations for the development and the fostering and the promotion of the arts. And, well, the chairman for NCC, the first chairman was Andrew Carr. Those of you historical know he was a famous folklorist. Andrew Carr, his daughter is Jocelyn Carr Seeley, who is a music person and judge. And then the second one was Dr. J.D. Elder. J.D. Elder did a lot of research, going around and did a lot of filming. He was an anthropologist, and he used to go to the Orisha tents and all about that. Yeah. And he did a lot of filming on 16mm film. And what significantly, what happened when the NCC subsided, one of the workers there stole a lot of the material. At that time, the ministry had moved from St. Clair the NCC office, and they had the Ministry of Culture in Success Village. But that's another story. But here it is. At that time, we were James and I. We used to go to the meeting, and we were making our contribution. We make some fantastic contribution. Following that, Marjorie Padmore succeeded. She was a famous education in the field of education and things like that. And the sister of what Padma is in politics. And she was very very cooperative of everything, and we because of instrumentality, James and I, we were able to form two national associations with the help of Marjorie Padmore. Yours truly got the dance people together, and we formed the National Dance Association in 1980. We formed the National Dance Association. Okay. I formed the National Dance Association, and James was instrumental in forming the National Drama Association simultaneously. Okay. And then the National Parang Association emerged. And then my brother, Igbal Mohammed, he was the first president of the National Parang Association. So you understand the contribution we made there. But hear this before we move further. While we in JD at the time, they used to do a lot of research. As a matter of fact, I had the opportunity to go with him to do some research in Grenada and St. Lucia and those places. We were very close, and in the country I used to go with him, and that's how I pick up and learn a thing, because we used to say those of us who dare to lead and teach must never cease to learn. Right? So coming back to what I was going to say there. Oh yes, the senior Sandfest was going on. Sandfest was started to rise and develop a thing, and JDL was so impressed with that. He originally from Tobago. Yes. So he went and encouraged Tobago to form Tobago Heritage Festival. Yes, the people don't know that. But you asked him, he was so impressed with that, because we used to talk about it, and then informed me. And then yours truly, at that time, was one of the chief judges.
Tobago Heritage Festival.
Yeah. No, do you remember they had another thing too? They had a lot of raw folk, and I used to go and help them. A lot of my members of the group, Michael Lucian, Philip Sargent, Ronnie San Andre. Yeah. Michael went and teach all the folk that he learned from me, You ask him that. And they take that in Bongo and we used to say Shango, but that's how we grew up. We go to a Shango feast. Yeah. But you're not really going to a Shango feast. You're going to a feast of the Orishas. Yeah. The Shango.
It was really an Orisha feast.
Yeah.
It was really an Orisha feast.
Yeah, but we grew up here and we go to Shango.
If I may point out some of the developments coming out of your work, James Lewa, actors, dancers, was the VAPA program, which the ministry more recently introduced. Yeah. Visual and performing arts.
Yes.
And a lot of people who developed on dance and the arts were able to fine-tune their skills and become accredited to teach in schools.
Yes. But I just said that the first stage manager for Best Village was James Lewa. And I remember they used to pay him $8 a night. Wow. I remember on one occasion he was coming on and he fell asleep.
Oh my God.
And what saved him in the roundabout in crossing. And at that time, most of the people from who were stations were from South. Yeah. You remember Pat? the performing arts technical team from
odds and ends.
Odds and ends performing arts technical team. Dennis sprang along all.
Attic theaters, Ralph and I,
you name it, right?
We worked as stage
we spread our wings and
I had a stage crew from Whitehall.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Significantly, we made we were the cultural capital, but look at us today.
Yeah.
Tobago and Point Fortin are the cultural exponents now.
Yeah,
Here it is.
Because we never get the support that we wanted from even from the city council, the city corporation. They give us very little support.
Over the last few years, the Ministry of Culture has been using the Arts Council as a venue for their culture camps.
Yeah.
You want to say something about that?
Well, that was a very good exercise. We got a lot of young people from the schools, and they were, the culture camp involved all the disciplines and music, dance, drama, and then we had a culture camp that did with technical aspect, that is lighting, sound, and thing. For some reason, that are not subsided, and that's because of financial problem. They're not having it this year, but that was a good exercise, and a lot of good things came out of it. A lot of people developed and improved their skills in various fields.
Yeah, the Creative Arts Center building was at one time condemned for use.
I beg your pardon?
The Creative Arts Center building was at one time condemned for use. But what has resulted in the modern, comfortable facility we have today?
One time I was condemned.
Yeah.
You mean, remember that the building was constructed in 1989, right? And then we, from time to time, whatever it is, we improve.
Upgrade.
Yeah, and
we had to upgrade.
We had to keep upgrading things. We get a little help from the city. When I was there, and when Eric was chairman, and I was a member of the council, and there had two other members of the council who were sympathetic to that. So that was Clay Boyce and Clive Raffet. Because whatever recommendation or whatever anybody let's let me answer this.
Oh, you stay now.
Yeah. In other words, whatever request was made, it had to come to council. So I used to get the support from Claire Boyce and Clive Raffet, and then the other members came in and they were very similar.
The original request,
because you and
the original request or specification was done up by me.
The what?
The request for specification.
I didn't know, because
and so on.
I had told Eric to write a letter asking for the assistance. So I don't know if you write it or who did that. You wrote the letter?
Yeah, I did.
But you remember
proposal.
that? Yeah. And that's how we got some help from Mayor Ferreira and the then CEO Marlene Coudray, yes. And then later on, we get some
intervention of Hazel Crawford
Hazel Crawford, and we got some assistance from National Council to National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and they did some repairs, and the building was improved generally throughout lighting and sound.
What further improvements to the building would you like to see?
Well, we'd like to see an extension and a studio on the western side. Could be expanded, because right now, as I mentioned before, you could have performing centers, but you have to provide more place for rehearsals. Take, for instance, remember I told you that Eric had introduced also a community development advisory council. Look how many community centers you have, and why the community centers now is a people's thing. Give me an opportunity to make a mention. In the original days, if you want a community center in your area, the villagers must raise 1/3, and the government put 2/3. And they were called community centers, right? Now they have both community centers and they have regional complex. The regional complex now is, from what I observe, is service, government, finance, everything then. Completely. Management and security and furniture and everything now. So the regional complex we have now in San Fernando, Vista Bella, Manipur, they are complex. But Pleasantville still remain community center. Say, no, we want to change. That when, what's your name? They have a few, and the elderly who was stubborn, so they still remain a thing. But they get full of money things. She's the manager there. Manipur.
Yes. And she was a dancer.
She was a dancer and an actor.
Yes.
She was a very good actress, you know.
Yes.
She performed with Drama Guild. You understand what I'm saying? You see, a lot of things trigger off, and but there's still the problem for what is happening. They're building these new sophisticated things, but they're not getting proper advice. You build a stage, right? Sometimes the depth is too short, too narrow then, to accommodate dancing.
Yeah.
And then you put up a stage, you put no wings. You know, they're getting computer and they're getting all kind of thing now.
Yeah.
But they're not making it theatrical enough. They don't have proper backdrop, proper wings, and proper stage lighting.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you another thing. When they had built in Eric Williams days, when they had built this secondary and community thing, and the ones that had, they built an auditorium which was for theatrical purpose and also for gymnasium, right? Remember that? You know what was the concept behind that? Was for the principal and the teachers to take the initiative to make it theatrical and put backdrop. How many of those centers, those secondary schools auditorium, you go there and you see wings? See any wings?
No.
No. You have no. You could tell me that they have a workshop. They could put up the wings.
I did a show in.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
In West Rio Claro Secondary School 2 years ago, and I had to construct my own wings.
Well, that is what I'm saying. And you see, and that is people in this country. They complain about government come and government go, but they were provided the facility for members or the staff and those in charge to continue, but they want everything thrown in the laps.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of something. When a school closed down because they had cockroach and rats and infestation, who is responsible for that? Not the principal and the cleaners.
Yeah.
Government would give you money to buy the detergent, but you wait until it reach, because of neglect, and it reach a state of thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of the problems with these newly constructed facilities, community centers and so on, with the increase and interest in dance, they haven't created a space for dance tuition with a flooring.
No.
Wooden flooring.
You must have a wooden flooring. Joyce would never take her she want to rehearse unless the floor is floor.
Well,
unless it is a wooden floor.
Pleasantville has a dance studio actually.
Yeah.
The floor is wood.
Yeah,
A small place. It was that got hit up, yeah. But what I'm saying to them, the management leaves much should be desired. With the community centers, you know what they do? When they have an election, they would send out circulars to a few people. It's a few elderly people now. And they keep coming back as members of the executive. You know, when I was still living in Pleasantville, I tried to encourage them to come and be part of the old people say, oh, they can't take on the young people, and the young people say they can't take on the old fogies. I say no. You see, you understand?
Culture gap, generation gap.
Generation gap. I say no. If you want to make change, you have to be part of the establishment.
The change you want to see.
I organize the best village for them, and then the people who dare to. Present is a very vibrant. They have two secondary schools. They have a sporting complex. They have a basketball court. Right? They have the community center. They have a primary school. They have a health center. They have almost everything.
They have a mall now.
Huh?
They have a mall, a plaza.
And a big mall. And they complaining. And I'll give you another example. But you understand the point I'm making about the schools? A school that used to use the term regularly to promote was Point Forty College, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Point Forty College, Signal Hill,
Faizabad.
and Faizabad.
Faizabad Composite.
All they have a big stage. When we go to we say you do, I used to take the and mark up. I think you remember when I mark the stage, yeah. So they would have a, because we already spoil. We greedy. We licorice.
Zeno is one of those who continue to promote the arts. Zeno, he has formed the Faizabad Connection.
The Faizabad Connection.
Ex-pupils of Faizabad.
And he will be a strong supporter, and he kept that thing alive. He never. I don't think he get full support from his peers. I mean his colleagues. Yeah.
Roughly, how many groups and individuals do you think belong to the Arts Council?
You know, how many groups? I mean, we have so many groups. I mean,
must fluctuate.
Yeah, the time goes on. But the groups that strongly support. Right now, because once there's a group there, I say encourage everybody. You know. Right now, the president executive, I advise them that they should spend some time in reviewing the membership and get even the 1 minute, excuse me. Hello, yes.
As regards the council itself, what changes would you like to see in the running of the affairs of the council?
Well, we have to get a very vibrant, committed. I'm going to let me answer because people executive, right? There are people who would have been elected. And they promise to serve, but they don't honor the commitment. They don't honor the portfolios. In an executive, you would have a chairman, a vice chairman, a business manager, a secretary treasurer, one for promotion and a PRO and things like that. But we never get the kind of commitment that is necessary for the. Because most of them are very superficial and very cosmetic. But we'd like to see that, right? And the membership, we have nearly 3,000 on the roll, but when you have an election, we're not too sure that the Secretariat send out invitations to invite whether old and young to try and come back to join the council.
Would you say that then that is one of the major problem the council has is communication with its
communication and and keep because if you look at the other names of Dr. we also have, we're supposed to be assisting groups. We're supposed to make sure that each group get an opportunity to rehearse there. There's a monopoly by some groups. You have more dance rehearsal. You can't call a place a creative arts center and you don't have workshops for music and drama. Well, we have one or two people who come and do Latin ballroom dance. We have some people who do folk dance, some who do modern contemporary. All right, that's all well and good. But it's still not sufficient to accommodate the so it has to be depend on the good graces of some schools who allow them to rehearse. Pleasantville Junior Second, when that fellow was Griffith, he was very, very helpful in assisting people to use their for rehearsal. And I think this Pleasantville Senior too, I think they do rehearsal there too. But you see, again, I had to come back and tell you that because the community centers, which is so narrowly and badly managed, then they don't reach out to the people and accommodate. You take it part of the West Village and you have a community center and some of you have to rehearse in the road. Or they have to depend on the good graces of a principal to allow them to rehearse. And that's so, Hollis?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so the whole system calls for the management.
Houses too.
Yeah.
A lot of the groups use people's houses in the backyard and things.
And let me tell you something while I'm there, because I was telling when I went to when we were discussing the church service, and I was telling the Archdeacon Primus, I say that you might be aware of this, but there were 2 churches in San Fernando who made a very significant contribution in assisting the promotion and development of our culture. St. Paul's AC and San Fernando Methodist. Right? You know who came out of San Fernando Methodist? San Fernando Drama Guild. San Fernando Ladies Choir. Carnegie Players. Well, San Fernando Ladies Choir is now Southerners, and so on. Where the building annex, the auditorium office next to St. Paul's.
Yeah.
There was an old condemned school that my group works through the instrumentality of the late Canon Maxi Farquhar. We use a condemned school there for 28 years, and that's how our rocks developed. Right? And a lot of his successors, when Canon died, a lot of his successors didn't want us to use the place. So we had to move when they started to build the place. But we used it for 28 years, a condemned school, And that contributed so much to the both and growth of our rocks. So listen, we know about that.
Yeah,
but
this year, the council is celebrating its Golden Jubilee.
Yeah.
What activities does the council have planned to observe?
But firstly, we as everything else, we want to start. We're hoping to start with an interfaith service at St. Paul's Anglican Church. This will come off on Sunday, the 28th of April at 5 p.m. And the service will comprise people from the Muslim and the Hindu and the Eurasian community to make a contribution, punctuated with a few cultural items and things like that. And we hope from there we could move on and well, as I said before, we have to improve the membership. And so we can't go on, indefinitely without. The next AGM will be in May. I think around May the 15th, somewhere there, or May the 18th.
Yeah, so what other activities you have planned for the observance of the
the reproduction of the continuation of the Gap magazine, a playwriting competition to encourage people to write local plays, an award ceremony, retro ballroom affair, and fundraising. But in order to do fundraising, we right now we are in the process of sending out invitations to so that it assist in an exercise would be a cost about $250. But we have embarked on some fundraising exercises to help realize. We hope that the ministry will assist us and the other cultural organization would assist us.
Yeah, so generally then, in closing, what would you see the involvement of the government in the promotion of the arts?
Well, I mean, they have to have, I mean, a very, right now, the social, political, economic climate leaves so much to be desired. We know there are a lot of problems, nationally, regionally, and globally. But the involvement of people in the vicinity of in arts and culture. Take for instance, for Carnival Bound, look much young people took part in the Calypso competition. Look how many people took part in the young people in the Sealman competition. You could imagine if you didn't have the opportunity for them. And I was I think you would agree with me, we were so disappointed last year for the best village. They cut out the village Olympics, which used to involve young people taking part in it from all over the country. There is a look forward to that. And since we have, right now, we have a problem with youth now.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, look how many people. Crime has become an occupation now.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. But then we're still in a very, I mean, people don't know that, I mean, who those of you who have traveled, there's no second country like Trinidad, you know. We have everything here. I know government will come, government will go, but the people who are there, the PS and the chairman and the CEOs who supposed to, the problem is management and supervision. Monies are allocated for everything in this country, you know, but it's how they manage it. You see the problem they have, you know, with auditing, you know, they have some departments in arrears.
Can't account for the money spent.
Yeah?
Can't account for the money
They
spent.
can't account for it. You know what I'm saying, Hollis? So, I mean, we are doing in our humble way that we are doing tremendous thing. We are doing what the whole society should be very grateful to and give us the kind of support we deserve.
Torrance, you remember with your Arawax company, Eugene's Trinidad Theatre Workshop, and Les Enfants, which I was a member of, we had formed an organization called the Southern Dance Company.
In 1972, yes.
Right. And from that, some of our members went to Festac to represent the country. Were you a part of this exercise?
Festac, the Black Arts Festival in 1977.
Yes.
I was a representative there. Joyce Curtin, Gene Coggins. Eugene was a cultural officer. As a matter of fact, Aubrey Adams was the advisor to Eric William at the time in the field of culture.
Yeah.
Aubrey Adams in St. Anne's.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he had offered me a job as a cultural officer. And I had just started developing insurance, so I didn't worry. Yeah. And then he gave it to Eugene. And that's how Eugene became a cop.
Oh, by default.
And Eugene, when he was a cultural officer, he recommended, and Joyce and myself and G-Con, we went as representing as to the Black Arts Festival in Lagos in 1972, 1977. That is the same year when we came back here on the 6th of February 1977. When we reached the airport, we had the bowl burn down. So you could imagine the bull was like a relative then, like if somebody had died.
Yes.
It's only later when we came down, we found out that it was the auditorium. JC's and them were having a Queen show and something triggered off electrically, you know. You understand? And that was a tremendous blow to all of us. And but as we said before, that contribution to a lot to the deterioration of the senior Sandfest. But it gave us the opportunity to build the junior surfer.
Carifesta is in the air again this year, being held in Trinidad. In the past, the Arts Council was represented at Carifesta.
But in different ways, yes. When the members used to go there and perform. I've attended a few Carifesta in the other countries, Cuba, Jamaica, Barbados, St. Kitts, Suriname, Cuba. But from another, let me tell you all this. So when you all doing later on, you all have to do the research. Before the introduction of a Sandfest, Carifesta, in 1958, they were trying to form a federation. So for the inauguration of the federal parliament, they had a West Indian Arts Festival in Trinidad. And people from all over the Caribbean came. Right? Arawak's Little Carib was formed in 48, and Arawak was formed in 55. And my group joined with Little Carib, and we performed with the Little Carib in the West Indies Arts Festival in 1958. Because you don't hear anybody talking about that. So people from all over the Caribbean, and that was a beautiful exercise. At that time, too, Eric Walcott, they did his play called Drums and Colors. And Dr. Errol Hill directed that. And he had all the leading actors from Trinidad in that play. They had built a Shakespearean type stage in the Botanic Gardens. The stage that comes down, like the Grecian stage, And as a matter of fact, I danced in that thing. That's my big opportunity. It was a 2 weeks, and I stayed in Port St. My other brother was living in Belmont, and I used to stay with him. But what happened? It was a rainy season, and they were doing these things in the open. So after when they were doing Drums and Colors, it was every night, They renamed it Drums and Watercolors. But one of the highlights of that festival was a pantomime which came from Jamaica called Busher Brewboard. And do you know where they did that? In Roxy Theatre Auditorium. Do you know Roxy Theatre had a stage? We know they have a restaurant there now. You ever hear anybody talk about that?
No.
We did our play there. We did one of our plays there.
Right. Well, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yours truly be dancing that. So another that, and what people don't realize that what also contributes to the longevity of any group. You must have a junior feeding your seniors.
Right.
And you must also open to grassroots people. Because the academic people, when they do SEA and they dance a little bit, they go into secondary. After secondary, they go to university. So your core. So what kept my group celebrated 64 years this year, because I had juniors feeling seniors, and I had a few grassroots people who didn't have much future academically that kept it alive. Because they used to frown on that. You remember in the early days, you couldn't join a Steelman. They used to frown on Steelman. Do you know they never used to allow Steelman to play in a church? Because you know that when Canon died, some of his successors, the other priests, they don't want Steelman and folk dance to do in St. Paul's.
But Canon Fakwa opened the doors for them.
Canon did it, and then we get full support from Nonny Clark.
Yeah.
You understand the social and the thing?
I could understand, because when I was growing up, my parents wouldn't allow me to go in a pan yard for motorcycle.
Right, you understand.
Yeah,
look.
It's when I went to England to study that I learned to play pan with Ebony Steel Band.
Yeah.
And I became the PRO, and I even introduced pan on wheels with canopy in Nottingham Carnival.
You understand? So, well, Eugene now, he has done extremely well.
Yes.
He was he came from Port of Spain. He used to work with Stephen and Todd there, as a DJ man. He has 5 studios, and he's doing extremely well now. And not only that, he's doing extra studies. I think he's going to a master's now.
Yes, he's pursuing his master's.
Now. So you have to give him credit for that. He does support. He's a financial member of the Arts Council. He does support the Arts Council.
Okay.
Well, his wife was a member of Arawak's,
Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yes.
And well, not to mention, 6 of us of our rocks went to Expo 67.
Yes. You remember the names?
Huh? Yeah.
Who were they?
Yours truly, Jessica Wyatt.
Eugene.
No, Eugene from South, but he wasn't a member of my group. John Millard.
Yeah, Box.
Patricia Smith, who was a teacher in St. Paul's. Jessica Joseph and Walter Elliott.
Yes, Walter
and Christopher Jordan. Do you know half of them going back?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them going to Toronto.
Yes.
You know, well, Habsa Karama used to dance with Eugene.
Yes.
She never come back, you know.
Okay.
She stayed back there and did her degree.
Yes.
So they provided opportunity for development. People,
Yes.
they become, all of them who went to dance. Look at Susan Romano.
Yes.
She's a manager now.
Uh-huh.
With insurance, with Guardian Life or one of them companies. Okay. And look at her brothers. Nigel and
VP.
If you know the history of them,
Mm-hmm.
they still live in Sutter Street there in a little,
Yes.
humble
Yes,
people.
opposite,
All the people,
Marguerite's.
all of the people passed through. Even your family, Baksh,
Anne-Marie.
Anne Marie, she's a doctor now.
Mm-hmm.
She started with me in our works.
She's supposed to be practicing in Tobago.
Somebody was here. My elder brother was married to your aunt, Lovey. Yeah.
So amidst it all, Torrance, could you recall the high point in your life in terms of the arts? Put you on the spot.
No, and the high point in my life when I got the first opportunity to go abroad, that was in 1965, right? To the Commonwealth Arts Festival in Great Britain. We performed in London and Glasgow. I was part of Errol Hill's Man Better Man production.
Mm-hmm.
I was an actor. Well, I was no actor at the time, but it was a musical.
Yeah.
And I choreographed all the stick fighting, but they didn't put my name as choreographer. They put Beryl McMurray. I did the stick fight sequence today.
Oh.
So you could imagine, you know, but
So Beryl stole your thunder.
I am no singer, you know. But you look at the shadow like a singer, you know. The highlight of going to and when we went to Expo 67, I was a dancer choreographer.
That's Montreal?
That's in Montreal, and we were there for 6 months, performing 4 shows every evening for 6 months.
Uh-huh.
That was the biggest thing in my life,
Yeah.
going to Expo. And from San Fernando to Eugene, Jessica was a member of your group.
Yes.
They had met before summer school on a relation thing, and they came and they got married the next year.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, his first daughter, it's a goddaughter of mine.
Okay.
So we have very good relationship.
Torrance, there are a lot of young people just there lining on the block.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to send a message to those folks, what would you say?
Well, when I used to go to school, there were 2 things that they made to put on the board. They even named them after houses there. Perseverance wins, and the will does it. Necessity is the mother of all invention. I grew up on Lamkaka. Good parenting, because right now the problem in the country, 60% is bad parenting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
If people don't respect the parents, they don't have time now to spend with the children.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the more affluent, the father has a car,
Yeah.
the mother has a car, and the teenagers have, so they go in different directions. The child that walks to school, right, takes a bus, takes a taxi, learns more.
Yes.
But they are doing that, they're dropping them at the thing for security reason.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those girls, you never hear about this. They just carry their civilian clothes in a bag. So when school over 2:30, and the parents come in to bring them up at 5 because they had to come over.
They have an next program.
And they have a next program. But you understand? It takes discipline I mean, right now, the ratio, 60% must come from 60, 30% schooling, and 90 and 10% religious. Because you can't get them too much religion, they'll get confused. So because you teach them, as a parent, you must teach them some religion. In school, you must teach them some religion, and you get them a 10%. Yeah. So, and then they would determine when they go along whether they want to become a Hindu or Muslim or. You understand that? Yeah. But I tell people I'm not an expert in nothing. I'm a student of life. Right? I learned from my environment from age 4 or 5, you know. I used to go to movies. I'm from predominantly estate environment then. Right? My father was an imam, a goldsmith, and a farmer. Right? From Ari Village, Princess Drong is between, on the main road between Princess Drong and
where the first Muslim mosque was built.
First it was built in 1886. And I could go on. That's why I say I want to go to, promise myself, if when my legs still good, I want to go to India. So what I'm telling you, so the first school I went to was Princeton RC. Although my parents live in Ari Village. But my mother, they had 12 children. So I went to live with my grandparents in Princeton. You know? Mm-hmm. So I went to Princeton RC between the age 5 and 9. And that school had a strong in front because they had very good teaching. You know, when it's a fascinate me, at the end of the term, they used to have a concert. And this one doing registration, that doing a sketch. And I said, you know, and I used to go and see movies. You know the first Indian movie?
Bala Joban.
Bala Joban in 1930. I was born in 1931. It came here, I think, in 1935. I went to a lecture the other day by Napriman. Bala Joban, I saw that. Ashok Kanya and Prem Kaju, I saw them thing. But you see the mistake we make then. We were so English oriented that we didn't spend time to learn Hindustani and like Bakshanais. I don't know much Arabic, you know. My father could have spoken Arabic, Urdu, and Hindustani, Hindi, and broken English. Right? He was an imam for me 16, you know. You know what amazed me in my father? Because you have, they used to read, you know. Mm-hmm. At that time, he had the Guardian and the Gazette. Mm-hmm. My father used to quote not only from the Quran, he used to also quote from the Bible and the
Gita.
And all of them, you know, and from Gandhi's philosophy and things. You understand? Yeah. But his elder didn't like that, you know. They didn't like my father because he was universal in that sense then. And I remember I told you the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, the moving finger rights. You know, the other day I was in the library some years ago and I was asking them to have a copy of that. They don't have a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. You'll get Khalil Gibran now. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You understand, Hollis? Yeah. So I used to go to movies. So I used to go to Indian movies to understand one thing. But I remember, and then I used to go to the Indian wedding, then I used to go to Ramdila. And I learned a lot of things. Bolo Shri Ramchandra ki jai, I learned as a child. I learned also in the essay porn. Wait, I think I mentioned this to you. And because of the various ethnic influence and all that. You know, what is it called, Princess Down? Savannah the mission there. So the Indians and them going to the mission, they used to say mission, they used to say Nissan. So they say Hamjaila, the son. It means I'm going to Princess Down then. They don't call Princess Down yet. That came afterwards when the two princes came. The other day they were doing a historical, but they never mentioned. Before they called San Fernando Naparima, and then San Fernando. San Fernando was called Pitibug. Mm. So when they come into San Fernando now, they say Hamjala Pitibug. And Pitibug in French means pity is small, bug is a small town or market town. No? You understand that? Right. So say they have Jaila Bitibug. Yeah, the borough had they had a little historical, but they never mentioned that San Fernando was once called Bitibug. But here they did the final one now. When they're going to Porosway now, they didn't have a nickname for Porosway at the time. So they say Jaila Sahar. But in Hindu thing, Sahar means city. So when they go into town now, they say Jaila Sahar. When they go to San Fernando, Jaila Pitibug. When they go to Princeton, they say Jaila. I look at a lot of Indian movies here. You know, you must look at Channel 55 and 80 and 88, and you see if you see the technical, the technically much developed than Hollywood now. You know.
Bollywood stuff?
Yeah, look at Channel 55, Channel 80, Channel 90, and you'll see Indian thing, your ball. I just look at the movies now. I'm trying to develop a little vocabulary. All the names you see they have there. Kumar is prince. Raj Kumar is a prince who is waiting to be king. Kumari is princess. Bahadur means warrior, and so on. All of them have something ironically. We had an Asian named Suraj, and he was also a Presbyterian priest, you know. The name Suraj, I'll tell us that. And they fire him for impropriety, you know, for some money business. And you know what Suraj means in Hindi Sana? The sun. Chand is this thing. I keep learning now. I'm a student of life. I know expert or nothing.
Yeah.
So anybody, whatever, you see like you're talking to me here? Whatever I pick about, share it with you. Free of charge. If you go by Molia, you used to go by those people in town. When they send the student, you have to pay them, you know. Molly's a charge 500. No, you don't charge the student. All I ask them to do when they finish their thing, give me a copy of their thesis. They don't come back. Sometimes I give them copy of things I have. They don't come back. But the shallow Hollis, I wonder what the hell they're teaching them in UB. And I hear they have some audition now for students. Somebody was telling me that last night. Hey, by the way, you want somebody to drink here?
No, just no. Let me finish. Torrance, I notice you have quite an array of displays in your house. Could you tell me about the awards you have received to date?
Well, it's so many different awards I'm going to get. I
start from the beginning.
Well, I got a national award in 1976. Beryl gave me an award. Most of the dance companies gave me an award. NCC, CDC, you name it. Community Development, City Council, PNM gave me an award. I have a list of all of that. I take it tomorrow. And I just temporarily, you came inside and sit inside?
Mm-hmm. What's the latest one you received?
You what?
The latest awards you received.
Which one is that?
And which is the most significant in your view?
Which one, boy? Oh, they were not by me. In 2002 or somewhere there, I was a kind of award for FCB together with a few colleagues. And I was so surprised. They gave me a little
check,
thing, and they gave me an envelope. So I didn't open the envelopes. When I come home and opened it, it was a check for 10,000.
10,000. Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I could give you, I could give you one of my resume. You see, all the people give me awards. But you understand, I don't call me, I still learning them. Every day I learn something new. Because you see, a basic thing, like remember I told you, The word bongo came from the word bongo. I learned that from an elderly person. Right? Then we used to say we're going to a Shango feast, when this was already going to a racial feast. And then we remember a long time, the corruption for Ram Leela was Ram Dilla.
Ram Leela, yeah.
James and Wen did a play in Drama Guild called, you must check that play, The New Dancers in the Dooryard. That was by this fella who died in a day. My name, he was a journalist. Drama Guild did that. And I choreographed a little section around the line it. And you know who played Ram? Eric Butler. And his wife played Sita. And you know who played Rawan? All Afro, you know. Mm. But simultaneously, I had, you remember Abracadabra? Mm-hmm. I had him with me, yeah. Because I didn't want to do anything that would, you're doing mockingly now. And he was so impressed that when I finished. And if you ask James about that, because we were trying to get a copy, the New Dancers in the Dooryard. That was a fine. And then James is to enact some of the Shakespearean plays to do for Senior Cambridge now. Julius Caesar and Mark Pedro. You went the naps? Mm-hmm. Huh? Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. That was an experience. So the Catholic school and Harry Government School, as I said before, were too powerful. The teachers, they teach you everything. If I ask you, there's a test us a hookworm. What's the name of the hookworm disease? I learned that in elementary school. I sent in a doctor, insurance, and he didn't know the name. Ankylostomiasis. And the earliest to get them was podium oil. Diaphragm and pyrene diarrhea. I could have spelled that in second standard. I talking to a student going to boys' school now. In fourth standard, and he no fourth time to a timetable. When I left primary school and we went to technical school, we had to learn 19 timetable by heart.
You have to memorize it.
Huh?
You have to memorize it.
So you see, with my technical knowledge, growing up in a village, because I learned so many Prince Young Born and a solitary Baptist, spiritual Baptist, that's to come to we call it the followers now. Baptize them then. Yeah. So you draw from, I learned from all, the little thing. Because right now in Best Village, the African students and the African teachers, they're mixing up Orisha with Spiritual Baptist and Saraka Nation. There's three different things,
Yeah.
Although they're of African origin, they're different. But they mix it up. Them judges, let them go. I don't want to part of it with the stupidness. The judge, Wang San had a lot of respect for me, because most of a lot of the members there that she hired came from my group because they studied the folk. Louise, Letty, Michael, and who again? 84 boy, when they call 84. Yeah, all of them get work at Best Village through because they came from Iraq. And she used to trust me, in the days when we used to judge semi-finals on, yeah? Mm. And she didn't stay. She said, when you finish, I want you to collect the papers and bring it for me. She used to trust me. I had a very good relationship with Wong Sang, You understand? You can't buy through here.
Yeah, bless her soul.
Else, much good-looking, academic qualified agents come to work in maritime. They do finance, management, and all kind of thing, and they try all kind of thing to make fast money. Right? I humbled it. I just go in there every day. I sit down. You see, like after lunch, I take a nap, and I will write a policy now and then. I don't kill myself, but my ambition, finally, I'll tell you all of them. Because I don't want nobody to know I'm going.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed, you have been listening to the life experiences of Mr. Torrance Igbal Mohammed, Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. We hope to see the San Fernando Arts Council enjoying the rest of the year as you celebrate your Golden Jubilee. And we wish the council all the best in the arts in the future. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing your experience with me and acknowledging some of the contribution I make, but it was also for the promotion and the development of the art and culture and people, because the most important ingredient of life are people. We are not better than the scavengers, the beasts, and everybody. We must treat them with love and courtesy, and always try to promote good living. Right? We hope that out of the exercise celebrating the 50th anniversary would be a tremendous source of inspiration to the rest of the membership, and the council could grow from strength to strength. It was not easy to reach at this juncture in the history of the Arts Council. While we had, undulations and vicissitudes in the exercise, we did accomplish quite a lot. We know there's room for improvement. They say while the mushroom is the smallest, the greatest room, the biggest room is a room for improvement. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.
What we see here is Torrance's Wall of Fame. The awards he has received over the years.
Look at the Order of St. Clement. That fella gave me that award. The Order of St. Clement and my group.
Name it.
Yeah.
Name your group.
The what do you call it? The Kiwanis. No, the Kiwanis. Over that thing. National Award, Maritime, Indian Arrival Day, Little Carib, Beryl McGivney, Hall of Fame, Life Underwriters Association of Trinidad. The Life Underwriters Association of Trinidad Bay, they gave me a Hall of Fame in 1993. I was inducted in the Hall of Fame because of my contribution. The Life Underwriters Association was formed in 1975, and I was a member of the executive too. As a matter of fact, when I was chairman in 1993, 94, at Lowat, I introduced the idea of having our own headquarters, and they raise money, and they now have their own building. As a matter of fact, the secretariat is to rent an office from another insurance company. But we going up and telling people to save money to buy. Why we can't do it for ourselves? And now the Life Writers Association of Tobago is now called TIFA, Trinidad Association of Trinidad and Tobago Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. And I was the least qualified in the executive, They had people with degrees and things now. This is Antigua. People who have been to Antigua. This is the Maritime Financial Group 50th anniversary. Yeah, this is a thing from Best Village. '50th anniversary they gave me. What again? Yeah. This is Lowat Hall of Fame. I was a member of the this was in 1993. A school teacher, client of mine, wrote this article with me. You should get it. It's very nice. Yeah, in recognition of the measure of a man. It's a very good article. You could get the whole thing? All right. And I have so many things. I start throwing away things, you know. It's so much. Because if I had a wife, I think they wouldn't allow all of this here. Huh?
Identify your mother and father.
Yeah.
Their names?
Gul and Gulshan. Her name was Gul and her name was Gulshan.
Rest in peace, mother and daddy.
Yeah.